Wow, give it up, man, for Donnell Rawlings, man. That was a clip.
I'm not clapping.
From A New Day. Remember that special on Netflix, Heather? We watched it together. Did we watch it together? Did you watch his special?
Nope.
You did not watch Donnell's special?
Nope.
I believe the children are the future.
I didn't watch it.
Teach
I banned
so
it.
well and let them lead the
I don't
way.
like Donnell, and I think
Show
you're being
them
gracious
all the beauty they possess
that you have him here.
Yeah.
I think you're doing him a favor. We're actually only here
Give
today
him the
to celebrate young Bryce.
Young Bryce.
That's it. We're
Bryce,
here for Bryce
put your
today.
headphones on, Bryce. We
Yes,
live on
hi
the air.
Bryce.
We got Donnell Rawlings and his cousin Bryce here, 10-year-old Bryce. Man, can you not beat me? I know I taught you better than this when I gave you your first job on radio. I gave you your first job. Just answer the question. Did I give you your first job on radio, bro?
Then let me tell you the transition.
I mean, but did I give you your first job on radio? Let's start there.
You gave me the opportunity
Did
for
I
the
give
world
you
to see the God-given talent that I have. And with that said, I wanted you for inspiration, motivation, to be a mentor, and your ass quit the next day. That's the part you don't want to tell nobody.
I just want we got to go step by step. I just want
to. You quit. How you gonna be like? Come on, I'm out of here. You quit on me, son.
I'm just saying, though. I gave you your first job on radio.
You did, and I appreciate it. I never spoke against it. I never said anything other than that. And also know that you, not everybody in this room, are a very positive person.
Thank you, bro.
You have a career that's been unscathed. I don't know how that happened. You must got deep pockets, or your publicist is working overtime. I don't know how you never got no trouble, son. But these two over here.
Yo, Heather and Tracy.
And listen, I didn't even know. This is my friend, ex-friend, or whatever you call her, sister, whatever. I didn't even know. She told me, she was like, yo, D, I'm in L.A. now. And the first thing I said was, I thought it was something going on in the
negative.
marriage.
He was
negative?
You didn't give me the information. You said,
what's the first? I was like, yo, Donnell, where you at, D? What we doing? What's going on? He's like, where you at, son? I'm in L.A. now.
And you said, I'm living here.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm supposed to say after that?
Not what you said.
Congratulations.
Y'all still together? I was like, yo, where's the support?
No, it's not the
first
support.
time.
Listen, let's back it up. The support, if you would have said, and I didn't know till I saw it online, if you just said the show moved to California, then I wouldn't have asked those questions. But out of nowhere, you like this, I'm in L.A., the reason why I was nervous, because when I look at like a perfect marriage and happiness over here, I thought something happened. So you took it the wrong way because you're negative. When you said that, I was worried. I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, she back on the streets. I didn't know if you was back on the streets. Because when people
on the streets?
You see where he goes? You see where the negativity starts?
Sway.
Yeah.
When a woman moves from one coast to the next coast, they back in the streets.
Oh, back in the streets.
Yeah.
I thought you said on the streets.
They trying to get away from that as much as possible and start a new life. And I thought she was starting a new life, but she sounded too happy. I'm like, damn, he must have been making her mad for years, right? She was like this, I'm in L.A. And I didn't.
You know why? The reason why I was so happy is because very rarely are me and Donnell out here at the same time. I know his schedule's crazy. So the first thing I was like, where you at? He's like, I'm in L.A. I'm at my sister's house. And I was like, I'm here too. He's like, what you mean? I was like, I'm here. We moved here. You still with your everything all right with your marriage?
You could have said,
Tracy,
why?
Tracy, you had the expression, you felt how I would have misinterpreted that situation.
Yes.
If you'd have said the show is moving here, then I would have been excited. But I had some concerns about, I was wondering if you were still married.
I think it's very indicative of your bond because
Yeah.
you was concerned. You
Right.
wanted to be there for your sis.
No, I didn't want to do
No,
that.
he
I
didn't
had
want
some
to do
niggas
that.
I was going to introduce her to.
See,
No.
it's
No,
negative
I'm
concern.
Wait,
It's negative
real up,
concern.
man. Come on, man.
No,
And he told me I would still smoke with him, but you know I'm team you. Like
Right, I did.
He said that
I did say that.
I still smoke with him, but I would want you to know I'm still with
Yeah,
you.
I'm with you.
This is what I dealt
The fire
with
is
in less
fire.
than a 4-minute conversation.
That was
with
only
him.
four.
But what I did, I'm telling you, once I figured out what was going on, I was excited that you was here, and I was excited because I split my time between Ohio and here.
Facts.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome because the closest people I got here is my sister, right? And then I know you know her.
Yeah.
Then I know how you get down. I was like, oh, we about to cook. She ain't gonna clean her chicken in L.A.
Wow.
That's the first thing I said.
Wow.
I was excited about it.
Why he says
Don't
that?
don't
even Can we talk about the young man that's in
Bryce,
the room
why
right
we
here,
really
man?
here
My man
today?
Bryce. Give it
Why
up
we
for
allowed
Bryce, man.
Donnell to even come in because of young Bryce?
But this is okay. I don't want to overtalk him or whatever. But
He hasn't even said nothing yet, bro. Can you say hi?
Go ahead.
Hi, Bryce.
Hi.
Kid is traumatized, man. What's Donnell to you? Your cousin?
My cousin, but he's like my uncle.
He's like an uncle, right? Do you like him?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Cause he's funny and nice.
He's nice.
They about to cut your mic off. Keep saying nice things about
man,
me.
my gosh. All right. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
You got your commander's outfit from head to toe, huh? One of those kids. You do Spider-Man too?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great, man. Who's your favorite commander? Terry McLaurin is my guy.
Jaden.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up, man.
Nice.
All right. You want to be a stand-up comedian like your kind of like Uncle Cousin?
No, I don't want to. I want to play sports.
Okay. Football?
Yeah.
Isn't it obvious? What position you play?
QB.
QB, man.
Big baby.
Man. What are you stretching right now? What's so you don't?
What?
It sounds like you stretching.
What do you mean?
Like the way you talk, you QB. You sound like you stretching. This is a handsome young man. I like this guy.
He's a handsome young man. He's fun. He's vibrant. He has a lot of energy. I met Bryce for the first time and his dad up at Donnelland.
Donnelland.
So every
Come
year,
on, get that around you. Heather talks
100%.
about that. You would swear you pay her.
No, well, because
See, that's negative. Why can't?
well, because
Why is that
Why
negative?
can't- why-
I mean, the way she talk about it, it's like she's an ambassador.
But she can't be passionate about it. She can't believe in it.
I mean, damn. I
And
mean,
what's
every
wrong with
day
that?
she talks about it every day.
And what's wrong with every day? It's too much negative stuff going on. I need a timeout and a prayer, man, and a therapist. It's too much going on. See, this is the problem we have. All the negative stuff going on, and then she wants to talk positive about it every day, and you got a problem with it.
I mean, bro, it's a
This is
radio
why I
station.
never thank you for giving me my first radio
You
job.
never have, bro. And you still ain't shit. You know. Oh, excuse me, Bryce. All right, Bryce, man. I think you're a great guy. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Can I
And
get a
Donnell,
pal?
and I, you know, it's easy for me to say, and Heather talks about it, I talk about it. This is the 5th year of Donnelland. We do it Memorial Day weekend. I can talk about it, but I don't. The thing that I like about this the most is what it does for kids and how they feel. It's ingrained in them now. Like, as soon as it start getting warm, they're like, "Are we going to Donnelland?" I could talk about it all I want, but I said, let me invite my cousin up so you can get perspective on what Donnelland means to the kids that come out.
Yo, what is Donnelland like for you? When's the first time you went? You remember?
I don't remember the first time I went.
But what is it like when you go there? What excites you about it?
That I get to spend time with my family, especially my cousins.
yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of activities do y'all do?
There's like trampoline, and last time I went, I forgot what it was called, but like when you throw the ball at the target and
Oh, when you get a prize?
Yeah.
no, and like you like
Somebody falls in the water?
yeah, you fall in the
They're
water.
like, what do you call that?
So what he
It's
did,
called a capside, which her and her husband did 3 times.
Oh, wow.
When she was on the river. Part of the Monday, it's a climax when we do a river run. For the last couple of years, we've had like 300 boats, if you want to say kayaks and canoes in there. And the interesting thing about me, what I like about it is to see people from the city have that experience for the first time. Like, she had the thought that she could be live, and I wish she would go back on her phone, because she would always be like this way. Oh, we down here, Donnell. Look at the ass you went. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You and Horse fell out the boat?
3 times.
not only did we fall out the boat, after the boat ride, the river run, Donnell has the stage and everything set up, and everybody's talking about the experience and the food. And so he brings me up on stage, and he brings up Austin. And I was like, hi, Austin. It's good to see you. Remember me? He's like, yeah, you the one that kept falling in the water.
Oh.
And I looked at him. I was like, you like your pops. Yo, like, why would you do this to me? But the thing about it, what Bryce spoke about, like, we just talked about this week, Sway, when we talked
Every
about
day.
the fried Oreos. Like, I had them at Donellland. I mentioned that on air because he set up a carnival. There's a carnival set up for kids. There's a face painting. There's a magician. Like this entire weekend, yeah, it's family, but the kids that come out and you have to see the smiles in their faces.
How many kids would you say are there? Like,
I think last year it probably was maybe 100 kids.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
And then a lot of them were from like 2 parents in the household, so you put 2 on top of that. So I think that we had like a total of like 3 between the activities, probably like 300 or 400.
Yeah, I
and
would
then
say.
we also do a comedy show that we usually turn them out 1,100 or 1,200 people.
Wow.
We do it's something for everybody. We do a sound bath. People want to get in touch with themselves.
Yes,
We do
that's my
a
jam.
nature walk.
Yep.
A kickball game. We
Yeah.
do the creeks
Sounds like a
versus the
family
streets.
retreat.
It is.
Yeah.
And the thing, and I got to say, it started because when I was doing the outdoor shows or the summer shows with Chappelle some years ago during the pandemic, he pretty much had the comedy side locked down. But I realized that we had a lot of people in town that couldn't go anywhere, and then we had to have some activities. Dave's wife's introduced. She was used to planning the stuff we could do. All right, we're gonna do a nature walk. I was like, I don't want to do that. Then we did the kayaking. I fell in love with it. And then, like I say, Dave used to do the comedy part of it.
Yeah.
But I would say I was like the camp counselor. I would organize the barbecues, the outdoor hiking, the canoe trips and everything. And then when he kind of like didn't do it as much because when the world opened up, everybody was going on the road. I said I would like to have a weekend where I kind of pretty much do all of the things that we did that summer on this scale. And we started, this is the 5th season. It started just as something that I did myself and then just continuing to grow. Right now, I'm at the point now, every year it's been money out of my pocket, which I don't mind.
I was going to ask you how you paying for this.
It's out of my pocket. Last year was the first time that we had a couple of local sponsors or whatever. And then, it's hard when a lot of times when you're doing something and then you ask yourself, are people really appreciating it? And you really get to that point where you see the money that you spend. But I was like the year before last, I spent a lot of money, and I was like, the attendance was decent, but I was like, at least I could say that money was for marketing, the idea of it. Now it's getting branded. We started with some local sponsors. I'm really trying to get a good person aligned with it. Frank Cooper!
Who? Frank Cooper?
Frank Cooper, CFO at Visa. Did I call him out?
Frank Cooper.
Frank Cooper, yeah.
Yo, I know Frank Cooper.
He's big boy. Yeah.
I mean, I've read about him.
Yeah.
I know who he
No,
is.
he's a big boy.
Good guy. Yeah.
He went to...
You should get on Ray Williams from American Express.
We're asking him right now. Ray, I don't want no competition between cards. You just
I know
started
Andre.
beef.
Andre is good people.
But here's the thing. It's hard. This is the beginning of anything.
But that's how you get Frank on board.
That's how. Okay, we're gonna get him.
Okay.
But somebody told me they used the Roots Picnic example, right?
Yeah.
They said when that first started, they was just doing they had mom and pop smaller sponsors, but if you sending your message, people attached to it. And my line for Donellland, they said, "What is Donellland?" And Frank told me, he said, "What are you bridging? You got to bridge something. That's what it's all about." And I said, Donellland is bridging the gap between the young and the old to create memories for a lifetime. And that's one thing that I want the kids to, and the families, when they leave this, I want them to be able to say 10 years from now, remember we on the river and we got connected? I've had people talk about the river saved my marriage. I've had some interesting people go down that never experienced. I know this sounds weird, and people like, what is he doing here? One year, Kid Rock was there, right?
Yeah.
Kid Rock's a big guy in the Midwest, whatever his political feelings, I'm not getting into that. But I remember floating down the river, and he was beside me in the kayak, and he said, it feels like I just went through 12 hours of anger management.
Wow.
We were floating down the river, and I saw groups of people. It was just one boat, and it wasn't labeled, but it was clearly a LBGT boat.
Okay.
Right? You had that boat floating down the river. Donnell, thank you for what you're doing. Then you had a thug boat. Word to everything,
Who was that? Heather was in that boat?
Yeah, she was in that boat. But it's something, and the thing, like when last year, I had this feel. I want to shout out to Steve Waring over at the pavilion that gave us this space. And it was this huge space. And I was like, man, I ain't got enough money to put. I wanted to put roller coasters and all this type of stuff. I was like, your budget doesn't do that. And then it made me think, okay, when you were younger, what are the type of things you used to do? We used to do like the 3-legged race.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like horseshoes, simple stuff. I was like, I don't have to have the most extravagant things to create the best experience.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll show you a video. This is video of them just racing. You know what I mean? Just simple stuff like that. And the biggest thing was These kids are enjoying themselves with no roadblocks, no phones, no nothing, and it's a good thing.
You feel that, Bryce? Like that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You meet a lot of kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly my cousins. So.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite activity?
Probably the three-legged race.
The three-legged race, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate that. Donnell, so anybody could come?
Yeah, anybody can come. If you go to DonnellRawlings.com, you can sign up for the registry for the guest book, and then we'll have people. You'll constantly be getting information on how to register for the kickball game, how to find out where the comedy show is. And then we had a battle. She got me twisted.
Had to be there.
Yeah, got me twisted.
Well, we normally do our annual cook-off as well, because the other thing that Donnell is being humble about is that he opens up his home. He'll pick up
people go in the house?
day.
I've never been invited to his house.
He picks
You
up
did. Don't do that, Sway. That's negative.
To
Don't
your
do that.
house?
No, you've been invited, but you didn't have nothing to do.
See that anytime he's tripping up, they're going to come on the
I'm
line.
surprised. The only reason you're in the studio right now because you feel comfortable. You back on the West Coast. You know it. He been crip walking, got his Converse, his Chucks. They not like us.
I can make a noise and it's all over. It's curtains.
When I found out you was here, I was like, oh, I know he happy as hell.
He said that.
Relax, bro.
I know. I can tell.
Yeah, man.
But
It's a good thing.
he opens up his home one of the days and just will have like a barbecue. And that's usually when he and I will get into the kitchen, his sister
That's amazing.
and his brother, and we just have fun. Unc is there, we just having a good time, and we'll go back and forth. We're both creating content and just we're joking, but it's all in the spirit of love. And then you walk out into his
Heather,
backyard.
this is a lie. That's not what happened at my house. At my house, that's not what happened. You say, Donnell, what you drinking, right? And I don't know if you put whatever Diddy was putting in drinks with. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you don't talk like this. You look at me. She look at me. And she see I'm starting to get a little faded, right? And as soon as I get there, she like, look at him making bologna early in the morning. That's what she does. That's what she does.
Well, either way, he opens up his home to people, and you walk outside, and not only some of the times it's just the who's who of comedy and the entertainment industry, but then it's, to his point, it's locals, and it's people who just, I'm a fan of Donnell, I'm here to support. I did this. The kids are in the pool, they're swimming at Donnell's house, they're running around, folks are just bringing in ice and different things. I just think for me, it reminds me of old school family reunions. Do you remember the music is playing, you haven't seen your cousin in 9 years, your uncle got a new girlfriend, it's that feeling, he's podcasting from that time, and it's just one.
Did you tell him how to feeling about when we do karaoke, how you get everybody twisted and then don't want to get off the microphone?
Wow, Heather.
You don't tell a story.
You be hogging the karaoke mic?
Oh,
I thought this was an opportunity to big up Donellland. I didn't know.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
Thank you, but I gotta keep my guards open. I gotta keep my guards up.
Oh, you got him on edge.
Thank you.
When is Donellland?
May 25th through the 27th.
May 25th. Can I sponsor something?
I would love for you to sponsor something.
Okay.
Swear you honestly,
I'm serious.
It's a real good. I'm telling you,
an experience like you would not even. One year, Donnell rented out a movie theater for all the kids to just go to the movies.
Really? How much something like that might cost?
We can talk off air.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
No, but I'm telling you. I mean, I know that this is going to be something big in the future. I know that this is going to be something that, when I'm not here.
It'll
in the
keep
physical
going.
form,
Yeah.
my son can take it over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, there's no money in it for me. I never broken even, but I think that what I'm laying out for the future is going to be dope. The fact that Bryce could have these memories, like my friend Dawn out of Chicago, she got 2 kids. She said her kids have been asking about Donellland since last year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I think it's something, and it's interesting because a couple of my friends that helped me, there was one young lady that worked for Disney, right? And she was telling me the story of how Walt Disney started Disneyland. And it started something simple. He was at a park, and he hadn't seen this in a while. He saw every member from the family enjoying himself, something simple. And he wanted to build on that. That's how it all started. Something similar. I didn't know that our thoughts ran. I'm not saying I'm going to be Walt Disney, but just how we got inspired, how it started, like just doing something would bring family together. Who knows? I could be the next urban Disneyland or whatever.
Why not, man?
But I like where it is. I like that the kids are excited about it. And it could be frustrating, putting something together, especially when you're doing something and you don't feel that people are seeing your vision the same way. You can ask yourself, why am I doing this? But when I look at his face and when I hear Austin talk about it, when I hear my friends' kids saying, are we still doing Donellland, that's what kind of puts the battery in my pack to want to continue to do it. But I will say we do need, I'm going to be honest, we need money. I would much rather use another situation. It ain't a lot. I'm not trying to gouge anybody. I just want to be able to provide the best experience for the people that come out here.
Let me tell you this, because you brought up Walt Disney, and a lot of people don't. That park that he was inspired by is a place called Fairyland.
So you know the story.
Yeah, and it's in the middle of Oakland.
Okay.
And Fairyland is still there.
When you say Oakland, why you gotta act like you about
know
to
what I
fight
mean?
somebody, son? Yo. He went back to New York. You had the New York face on that. It's in Oakland.
It's
I didn't
in
know
Oakland,
that.
man. Yeah.
All right, tell a story. What is it?
No, it's a place called Fairyland in Oakland, and it's a type of place where it's just they built it in Lake Merritt. You know where Lake Merritt is in the middle of Oakland, and it's on the side of Lake Merritt, and it's kind of in the cut between a lot of the trees and the lake itself. And when you go in it, it's beautiful for kids. We used to go as kids, and they would have these gnomes that they'll build like these little cement statues of dwarfs and stuff, and they'll have a little profile about the dwarf, and they'll offer you these keys that you could put these keys inside of a little keyhole, and then the dwarf would start talking. It was a recorded vocal of a dwarf talking and telling you the story. It has like dragons, cement dragons. It's a small, very minute version of what Disneyland became. But to your point, he saw that park. And you can read this. You can read about this. We learned about this growing up, and made Disneyland. So Donellland, you're right. Minus the sexual connotations that Disney movies start putting, in their cartoons and stuff. Donellland.
Why we got to manage those?
Huh?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, wow.
We do have an adult night. I'm joking, son.
Man, come on, man.
It's adult night, too. That's where all the kids go to bed. That's where all the kids go to bed, and Donnell hits in your text. Son, what you doing, son? It's about to get popping over here. I'm like, yo, we're in the Midwest, and you want me to come over now at 1 a.m.? Yo, and we just did till we break day.
I'm on board, bro. We'll talk off air, man. We want to Sway's Universe want to sponsor something.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
We do a podcast. Oh, and I know also I'm gonna be in New York soon. I'm gonna be at the City Winery.
What night?
March 28th.
March 28th and the 29th. And then Baltimore, that's this weekend. I'll be at the Comedy Factory Outlet. I love going to that place because it's like it's the DMV. I grew up between D.C. and Alexandria, so I get a lot of DMV people. And I will say this for anybody that people always ask the question, you just did a special, are you going to do any new material? I had a new 45 minutes to an hour after my special drop. And I will say this way, I thought, somebody could say, well, I saw him, he was funny that, but recording a special, it's in that moment.
Yeah.
In that moment, I thought I was the best I could be, but I learned so much from that.
Since then? All right.
Oh, man, I'll say one thing, after doing it for 30 years, every time I go on the stage, I go on the stage to be better than the last time I was on stage, which was probably better than the last time I was on stage. I'm really, despite what anybody thinks, I'm really like a student. I'm really serious about stand-up. If I never get another job in film, if I never get another job in television, radio, anything, the fact that I could put my name on the marquee and people want to come out and see me do what I do, I appreciate it. I never sell an audience short.
Donnell Rawlings, man. Man, let's do it, man. I'm definitely down to do it. 888-7423.
I have a deck that I'll send
you. Shoot it to me.
But also, even with whoever gets this deck, that is just like tiers that we want. But I'm also open to customizing something. Just like the idea you said with the gnome. If it's something you like, hey, I'll let you do or whatever you want to add to it.
Okay.
On the creative side of it, yo, D, let's do this.
Deck numbers must be huge, huh?
No, they not. I'm telling you, for people in this business, they really like. Some people ask me, but I'm not trying to exploit anybody. You know, like if I could just, at the end of the day, if I could just break even, everybody had a good time, whatever, I'm good.
I'm on board, man. Donnell Rawlings is here. Bryce is here, man.
Yes.
He's in a commander's uniform. Anthony, you want to talk to Donnell? You in Dallas?
Hey, Aunt.
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas. How you doing, Mr. Rawlings? And appreciate you, Sway, giving me his time.
Absolutely.
Is he a citizen? What is he called?
He's a citizen, bro.
See, Donnell?
Come on, man. We got merch too, Donnell.
Take the money back, Sway. Take the money back. Take the money
You're
back.
killing me, man. Take the money back.
Yup.
Okay.
Damn, I want to say I'm happy to see Tracy, but she seems subdued over there. You all right? You are in California.
Yo.
You doing edible or something?
Don't do that.
But no, all jokes aside, I'm not trying to disrespect Anthony on the phone, but I didn't know sometimes when shows move, they be like, we're just taking one person, whatever, but it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Well, you know what it is, Donnell? Tracy's running the New York studio while we're doing it here in L.A.
Right.
And so we got both
Simultaneous, yeah.
simultaneously. We got both. So you could have came in New York and been with Tracy in the studio, but she was here.
Oh, okay.
You know, so we
have on the screen.
yeah, we usually have it, but nobody's in New York studio right now. So.
Oh, you ain't nothing, man. You like, yeah, come on down. I what y'all doing, man, is so, this is what I want to say. You got a lot of platforms out here, but you guys managed to keep it positive.
Yeah.
Keep it good, and like just the loyalty of it. When I saw all of y'all still together, Sway is big on that, even though he think that I don't appreciate his opportunity that he gave. Whatever, he's a good guy. All right, that's the last thing I'm going to say.
We trying to be nice. You don't even sound right. All right, Anthony, what's your
can't help
question? Yeah, it sounds fake. Go
Okay,
ahead.
my question is, Mr. Rawlings, I'm a screenplay writer, and I also been ghostwriting stand-up comedy for the last 3 years. I was trying to see, would you like to collab on a film, or are you looking for a writer for stand-up comedy, anything? The comedian I was ghostwriting for the last 4 years, he's on tour with Mike Epps right now. I work with Master P. I'm a military veteran.
I would need to know who that person is to tour with Mike Epps, because you might be writing with somebody I can't stand.
Well, give us an example of a joke you ghost wrote.
We'll talk offline about that.
Wait, give us an example of a joke you wrote.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear that.
One of the jokes I wrote about was BBLs, how the doctors, when they done, they put their navels anywhere when they done, and they put it by their heart anywhere. So if you notice, when they're done with the navels, they never in the exact place where our navels are when we were originally born. So that's one of the jokes that
He bought that?
You know what?
He bought that joke?
He bought it.
Oh,
Once I send it to you.
Next caller, please. I'm just joking. You know what? This is what I was just on a popular roast battle, and I gave people my honest critique of something, and they was upset about it.
Yo, that was crazy, bro.
But-
It felt like everybody was attacking you.
They was attacking me because they couldn't handle me one-on-one. And the thing about it, what I thought was irritating was like, this is the roast battle, the most insensitive place. That's why I don't want to do it. I don't like doing roast battles because they get real personal. Hey, it's just a joke. No, you meant what you just said.
Yeah.
And I gave my critique of the two guys who was up there. They got upset. And I told them, I was like, I said, Jeff, you can't believe in everybody's dreams. I said, they're not going to make it. But I was clear what I said because of this. I said, this is a good opportunity for y'all. Obviously, you guys are not prepared. I don't see no confidence coming from anybody. You're doing a roast. You're trying to be this guy's friend. When you're doing a roast with somebody, that's your enemy. You're supposed to go to attack. I said, and the biggest joke you had was a joke about me. You weren't prepared. You had one joke, and you thought that one joke was going to start a career. And that's the problem with these platforms that don't give stand-up comics the experience to really know what it takes to do it.
Yeah.
It's not one joke. But now you got with social media, I'm not hating, you got social media. One person get one joke, they viral. Next thing you know, like, hey, I'm so-and-so. So you give them the false belief that that's what it takes to make it. It ain't just one shot. It's going to the open mics. It's people telling you no. It's people that say that's not funny. And I even told him at the end of his sway, I said, I hope that your disdain or the anger you have toward me, you're so mad that it makes you want to be better and greater. And when I said that, oh, you can't talk to us like that, yes, I can. But also, I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 Tito's and tonics, right? and then what they say? What they say when you have some drink? You tell the truth, right?
Yeah.
Everybody got upset with me. Then they tried to flip it. Here's another thing they always try to do to me, Sway. This is what they always say, and I'm going to address it. Oh, he's Dave Chappelle's butt plug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You heard that, son? Why you didn't tell me they said that?
I called Heather.
Yes.
Remember I called Heather?
This is what they say, Sway.
Yeah.
He's so-and-so. This is what they say. If it wasn't for Dave Chappelle, this is what I hear all the time, right? What has he done since Chappelle? I can tell you what I'd done before Chappelle's show that would probably mop up a lot of these dudes' resumes. And I could tell you what I'd done after Chappelle's show that would mop up half these niggas' resumes to say that. What they want me to do is recreate history. I can't do that. I cannot apologize for being, and I don't give a fuck what nobody say, being one of the breakout performers on what people, not me, are saying is one of the greatest sketch shows in the history of television.
That's right.
Whatever you feel about it, however long it was, I already made history. I can't what am I going to try to outdo something that's already been done? It's just certain shows come along every once in a while where, guess what? Whatever you do in your career, that is going to be what everybody remembers you for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's obvious that people appreciate it when we did SNL, that little cameo as Ashley Larry and Beautiful. No, I'm not trying to ride that shit. But if it could sell a ticket,
why not?
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to try to do now is create a show that is better than what we already created. No, I just keep it moving, stay consistent, and this is the one thing they don't ever want to challenge me on. Any of them. And I'm talking to all of y'all. They don't want to go on the stage.
Go on the stage.
You can say all you want. You can say all you want. If anything that I'm confident about and I wear that on my shoulder, talk all this shit you want to talk about me, but let's bring it to the goddamn stage.
None of them, like any of those people on that roast that was getting at you, they wouldn't go on stage with you.
You know what, Sway? They would go on stage with me, right?
Okay.
I'm not trying to be a bragger or whatever, but I'll put it like this. Usually, they can say whatever they want. Usually, when especially in a certain circle, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with it." And I don't feel this much confidence when it comes to acting or any of that stuff, but especially because how I feel about this, and this is one thing I do too. Whatever negative happens in my life, even that roast battle thing, for a day, I did ask myself, you know what, Donnell, you got to be careful on how you present yourself because people are always watching. I did take that accountability with that. But I also remember how that moment was created. And that moment was created because I've been rocking with Teddy Swims for the last 2 years, right? That's my guy. We met, you know how you meet somebody online or whatever?
Yeah.
And he was doing a show in L.A., the Adam Carolla's Dr. Phil show. And I just popped up on it. He didn't know it. And when we, certain energies, when we saw each other eye to eye, pause, no whatever, it was just like a connection. And it was off to the races. We did hit the bar. What I did learn was you can't go tick for tack with a white dude from the South. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He showed me, right? And then the next thing you know, I'm at the roast battle and some honest things came out. I'm not going to take away from the moment we're kicking with him. But I know, I don't care what nobody say, pound for pound. And this is the people that come to see my show. You can contest to this. Pound for pound, I'm one of the nicest dudes on the stage with a mic in his hand.
Donnell Rawlings, I agree with that, man. I've seen you shut down shows live, and it's funny when I saw. What was the name of that roast?
It was called it's called Roast Battles.
Roast Battles?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Immediately, you remember when I called you and said?
Yeah, but I didn't know what you was talking about.
She didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't know if I like what they was doing to him. You know,
But see, this is what the setup was.
Yeah.
The setup was. The thing was, when I came in here, my energy is very strong.
Yeah.
I kind of like roughed the whole show. The host didn't like that, right? He tried to bring in order. But if he was smart, you got to understand with comedy shows, yes, you got a certain format. But if something odd is happening and it's funny, roll with it. You got Donnell Rawlings up there. You got Teddy Swims up there. You got Jeff Ross up there. But you still want to be a star of the show that you've been doing for 11 years. Quarterbacks, you ain't got to score all the touchdowns. Let that happen. And if you really took a look at that, I never got mad when anybody was roasting me. I took it. I knew that was part of it. The only part I got upset was when the dude tried to flip it and he said, "Oh, you're gonna come up here." This is his Negro voice. "Oh, Donnell, you can't come up here and."
His Negro
Yeah,
voice.
Samuel.
Negro.
But you know what it references to, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, come on, Donnell, you can't come up here and talking about us like that. Hey, guys, what I want you to do, anytime this guy says something, I want you to boo. He's got the audience trained.
Wow.
So it's unfair. So even if I said anything funny, the minute I said something, it was like, boo.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, y'all can't out-boo me. And I would have stood up there and took it, but it came to a point where they control that audience. That audience goes there for a certain thing.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I said, all right, whatever. It is what it is. And I knew after that, here's the most notorious person in this business now. It ain't the host. It ain't the people in the audience. The nastiest person you want to piss off is the editors.
The editors.
Because when they say it happens in post, it really happens in post.
Yeah.
They only show,
PV.
yo, yeah, you evil. I know what you
Wicked
can do.
man.
Yeah. Those are the ones that start the viral beef right there,
Yeah.
because they only show that moment. And as much as people want to say I was rude or whatever, what they can't deny is the guys. Two guys that was there at that moment, they wasn't ready. But here's another thing where I will continue to support. I had to go do a good friend of mine, Tino Cucino. He has a radio show and doing his late night TV show in Phoenix, right? The two guys that I was talking about in the roast, they were from Phoenix. And I said, listen, it's a small world. I said, Tino, why don't you get those two guys that thought that I disrespected them to come do this show with us? So now we can do a reconnect. They get a chance to see. They get a chance to go back into the studio and do their thing.
What
right?
happened?
One of the guys showed up.
Wow. Okay.
One of the guys showed up, and he was the one that I would say of both of them that probably has some potential, right? So we did a skit where they had some comments come out there and was intentionally horrible. So I had to flip it like, oh, my God, you guys are the best thing ever. You're going to make it. Oh, my God, give him a TV show. And then they brought the other guy here that I had gave critique to. He was there, and he had an okay set. And I said, this is what I respect, and I think that you could have potential doing this, is that you didn't let what I said that night stop you from still going for it.
Yeah.
I said, you got endurance. I said, and this what bigger than one joke, this is what it is. When you feel bad about something, you come back and you try to correct it or do something different. And it was a moment, because for somebody to try to make out like I don't support young comics or anything, it's so false. So many people that I've helped in their career. I'm a person, if anybody ever talks to me too much about I thought about doing comedy, I'm like, come to my show. I'll give you 5 minutes off the rip. I've been mentoring people forever. It's just so happened that I was honest. If you can't take the honesty, this is not the business to be in.
It's not the business, especially comedy.
Especially comedy. Like and that's what I respected about the kid. I wish I knew his name. That's what I respected about him. And then when I got to know him from some of the other comics in that area, they was like, yo, he's like a favorite guy here. People love his hustle and everything. That's the thing that's bigger to me, not just 2 seconds of a moment. And that's what's so sad about this business now. People don't want to put the work in. They want it to happen instantly. They want to post one video and all of a sudden you viral. But what happens? You start creating these YouTube people that will fill a space up, but then nobody want to go see them again because they're not giving no show. And I'm not a person that's opposed to using the opportunities and the technology you have right now. I wish we came up with flyers.
Yeah.
I wish that I had an opportunity that I could put a phone in front of my face and millions of people see it, but I didn't. So I had to take it from the grassroots. Now, these youngins coming up, if they could take the work ethics, and they don't have to listen, and the principles that we had coming up, it's going to make them a better comic.
Yeah.
But it's hard to even talk to these guys because ultimately, what do we want to do this for? For the fame, the money, the girls. But when I was coming up, all of those things that you wanted, you had to be good first.
Yeah.
To get the money. Now, you don't have to be good. You get the money first. So it's hard to tell a young kid what you need to do. He's like, I made $300,000 on TikTok this month. Yeah. So they won't connect. But hopefully they will.
Now, I appreciate you breaking that down because I had no idea what was going on when I just happened to catch the middle.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this looks funny. Oh, I liked you being in that genre, right?
Right.
Yeah, I like because I know you could you do all genres. You could walk anywhere.
But you know what? Even on American Idol, guess who they hated the most?
Who?
Simon Cowell.
Right.
But guess who they wanted to hear from the most?
Simon Cowell. Donnell Rawlings, man. Make sure y'all sign up for Donnellland. Go to DonnellRawlings.com. We will be, Sway's Universe will be sponsoring something.
Dope.
All right. I don't know what it is. Bryce, man, you hogged the mic, man. you just talking and talking, man. You all right?
You want to shout anybody out before you leave?
I want to shout out my cousin Austin.
All right.
And My dad.
You have an amazing son, man.
Yeah.
This guy got a great temperament, right? He don't budge, man. I like him. You all right with me? You do good in school too, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's killing it in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cause little girls like you too.
My dad had to take me out because now I have to go to all boys school because I got so much girls.
My man Bryce, he go in on that note, man.